Hey everybody, what is going on? It is Dunbar Snack Bar with MLB 13 the show, and we've got Kevin Millar's Road to the Show coming your way right here. Now, this is the very first postseason game that I have ever had in any My Player Baseball mode since I have started this channel. So pressure is on for me. I don't want to go ahead and lose this one. This would be a bad way to start things off. But we've actually got a lot of cool things to be able to talk about for the Red Sox. One, we ended up winning 100 games during the regular season. That is sweet. Second, Kevin Millar ended up winning the Cy Young and Rookie of the Year award. So that went ahead and bumped up his Hall of Fame status quite a bit. So next season, I'm hoping to go ahead and repeat Cy Young, maybe even go ahead and get MVP. That would be pretty sweet. So as far as the other two teams playing in the American League, by the way, we're looking at the Detroit Tigers and the Oakland Athletics. Not gonna lie, I hope the A's end up winning, but it's gonna be tough when I have to go ahead and play them. That is, if I have to go ahead and play them. I don't know what happens quite yet, but I've got to figure this out one game at a time. I don't want to jump too far ahead or anything like that. Otherwise, I might make a mistake. But I need to make sure that I focus on this and think of it just as any other game. I don't need to let the pressure get into me. All right, so this is episode 42 of Kevin Millar's Road to the Show. In episode 41, somebody mentioned that I should go ahead and pay tribute to Jackie Robinson, which, makes sense. There's two things I think of when I think of the number 42. One, Mariano Rivera, the greatest closer of all time, and Jackie Robinson, one of the best players and people to play the game.
Take a turn. Look.
So, I love Jackie Robinson, and I don't know what it is, but these past few days, Jackie Robinson has been, in my life. I wasn't even thinking about it. Yesterday, I wore Jackie Robinson's jersey, and then the day before that, 42 came in the mail, so I'm going to be watching that movie, I think, a little bit later on tonight with my wife. So, for me, when you ask me about favorite players, I don't just go off of athletic ability. I mean, don't get me wrong. I respect athleticism, but I think of the human being more than I do the person, because unless they're the greatest at something, anybody can go ahead and throw a pitch. Anybody can swing the bat. Now, granted, people do it at varying levels of efficiency and greatness, but, for example, here's what I mean. So Lou Gehrig. I believe that Lou Gehrig, and this will probably cause some people to react negatively to this, but I believe that Lou Gehrig still isn't given enough credit for what he was as a baseball player. He, bat right after Babe Ruth and effectively lived in the shadow of one of the greatest players ever to play the game. So you look at his stats, and if it wasn't for Babe Ruth, if Babe Ruth was not in the game, Lou Gehrig would have been considered the greatest at the time. But, you think about that era, people think Babe Ruth. I can understand that. But besides that point, besides Lou Gehrig's athletic ability and what he did with home runs, his durability and stuff like that, it's really Lou Gehrig, the man, that I appreciate more. What he personifies for me is humility, perseverance, and, getting back up right after you fall, not letting anything really affect you. So I always talk about, the defining moment for Lou Gehrig with me, what makes me consider him my all-time favorite player, is really shown most of all during his Luckiest Man speech. So he's retired from baseball. He'd been diagnosed with ALS, or what's more commonly known as Lou Gehrig's disease, and it's a horrible disease. Basically, your muscles deteriorate. You have no function of your body whatsoever. If you look at Stephen Hawking, all right, if you guys know who Stephen Hawking is, Stephen Hawking has ALS. So you talk about this baseball great who could have been the greatest of his time, confined to a wheelchair, not able to move his body or anything like that. But here he is standing in front of thousands and thousands of people, and what he says to everybody is, "I'm the luckiest man on the face of the earth." How easy would it be for everybody else to go out there and be like, "Wow, guys, this really, really sucks. I'm scared about what's happening, and, it's terrible what I'm going through right now," because he was given a plaque, actually, and he couldn't hold on to it, so he had to set it on the ground. So think about what he was doing with a baseball bat. That's why his numbers were so down as last year. But it could have been very easy for him to go one direction, just saying, hey, this sucks. I love you guys, but this is really, really hard for me. He never, ever said that. I don't know that's something that I could do, and I don't know it's something that a lot of people could do either. I mean, it took a special human being to go and endure that and to represent himself the way that he did at that moment. So, I mean, he was surrounded by people who were supporting him no matter what he would say. I mean, Babe Ruth even came back, and those two had a very difficult relationship for their careers. Nobody was going to go ahead and blame him for saying, something like that. But no, he comes back and says, I'm the luckiest man, despite the fact of what was going on. What he focused on more than anything was that he got a chance to play baseball and play for the New York Yankees. That's cool. So let's translate this over onto Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson was a great, great baseball player. There's definitely a reason why he was selected to be the one of the first African Americans to play baseball. All right, he was just awesome. But you think about what Jackie Robinson had to endure through. America as a whole was ridiculously stupid at the time with the way that we treated people of color. Thinking that they were inferior to white people, that things should be segregated. Somebody wasn't even worthy enough to go to the bathroom in the same toilet as somebody else, swim in the same swimming pool, attend the same schools. And you think about it, and it's just barbaric. But Jackie Robinson, of course, bared through it. I can't imagine how much it would have been hurt to be called, those racial slurs. How much that would affect me. I'm Caucasian, and so I really haven't had to deal with racism that much. But I can never imagine having to face it to the degree that Jackie Robinson did. People threatened to kill him. Now that, of course, I've gotten, but not because of the way somebody looks. But not only did Jackie Robinson endure it, but he was a patient human being through all of it. I know I would have exploded. I probably would have decked some dude for saying some of the stuff to me that, they said to Jackie Robinson. So for him to go ahead and to be the better man, to go ahead and not show his anger. I'm sure he got angry, but the fact that he didn't show it, mad props to him. I couldn't do that. He personifies so many great things for me that it was actually, a tough decision for me when I got asked for the first time and really thought about who is your favorite player, because both of these guys represent something that's phenomenal. As great as Lou Gehrig is, there are some things that Jackie Robinson did that I think are better. You look at what's taken place with baseball since the times of Jackie Robinson. We've got an equal playing field, for anybody. It doesn't matter your race or anything like that. If you can play the game, you are welcome on the diamond at any time. And, I think about other baseball players. I don't think anybody could have done it as well as Jackie Robinson could have. And I'm absolutely grateful for what he did. And a lot of people should be too. You think about your favorite baseball players, and you realize that some of them, actually in a lot of cases, a fair majority of them, aren't Caucasian. They may not be playing the game, if Jackie Robinson hadn't been there. Now, don't get me wrong. I think by 2013, of course, Major League Baseball wouldn't have been segregated anymore or anything like that. But you guys know what I mean. But, I think it's great. I think it was terrific that Major League Baseball decided to retire the number 42 across the board. Every team in baseball can only wear 42 on Jackie Robinson Day, except, of course, Mariano Rivera, but that's because he's the last active player to wear the number 42. And I remember that season. I was at a Kansas City Royals game during that year that they retired the number 42. I just thought it was really cool. I didn't know quite as much about Jackie Robinson. I mean, I knew Jackie Robinson was one of the first African Americans to go ahead and play baseball. And I know the influence that he had. But, of course, you have to mature and understand a little bit more about what the world in America was like at the time and exactly what he had to endure, the way that he did endure it, to truly respect him. So, and I'm not going to lie, too, I was really, really close. Instead of doing Lou Gehrig this year, to play as Jackie Robinson, and I'm probably going to play as Jackie Robinson for MLB 14 this show. I think that'd be kind of cool to start things off with next gen. So, I don't know. Like I said, I can't even imagine what either one of those guys, but more specifically Jackie Robinson, had to endure through. Anyway, the game here, you can see, is tied at 4. Not had the best game. We've allowed a few big hits. A home run, of course. But here we are in the top of 7, and Boston, well, it's a good thing the bats have been here today. And now we're up by 1 run, and I'm definitely going to need it. I knew that when I was going to be facing the Blue Jays, there were going to be some struggles. But it could be a lot worse. I appreciate the team's confidence going ahead and keeping me in right here, despite the fact that I've given up 4 runs. Because I don't think I would trust anybody else here as far as the bullpen goes to finish this game out against a team who can hit really well. Swing and a miss, strike 3 for out number 1 in the 7th inning. The nice thing, too, about being in the playoffs is your total here for points that you earn doubles. I'm going to take that. All right. Throwing this one. Lands across the middle, but it's going to get fouled back for strike 1. Gosh, I love having this 100-plus mile-an-hour four-seam fastball. It has saved me so much, including in this game. The confidence with the knuckleball was just never there from the get-go, so I can make this conversion from, a knuckleball pitcher to a more traditional style pitcher. There we go, getting the strikeout. Oh, 42 points in episode 42. Talking about the greatest man who ever wore the number 42. But this one goes deep and right. Do not be a home run. Oh, Hayward with the catch. Right at the wall. That was close. My gosh. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get pulled right here, but I do want to see how this game ends. Double play. Dang it. All right, top of 8. So Andrew Bailey is in. I think that's a smart call. I, of course, question how long he's going to be able to stay in the game, but it's nice knowing he's there. All right, we get a run, 6-4. Come on, Pedroia. Napoli. Dang it. All right, we're up by 2 runs, so here we go. We win. Game 1 of the ALDS goes to the Red Sox. You're really going to get mad at that performance here? You're really going to walk through that pull like it's nothing? Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. I sure do appreciate it. Of course, more of Kevin Millar to come later on. We're in the postseason, so things are going to get very, very interesting. You guys are phenomenal people. You really are. Thank you again. And as always, I hope you guys have